Hi everybody, welcome to your reading and also welcome to my channel. If you are new, I'm the Dream Medium. So this is a pick a card reading about what will your love life be like 6 months from now. You have options 1, 2, and 3. So just go ahead and naturally choose the card that is calling out for you, and I'll see you guys later. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So let's see, what will your love life be like 6 months from now? So I've already shuffled and displayed the cards for you just for time's sake. And so the cards that came out when I asked the question, what will group 1 love life be like within 6 months from now? So the cards that came out were New Moon, which says promise, Rainbow, which says blessings, and lastly you have Volcano, which says volatility. So starting with New Moon, promise, what I'm seeing for you guys, group 1, is that some of you, I don't even want to say some of you, but the majority of you guys, group 1, you're going to find yourself in a very serious commitment. Now, I'm really not seeing that this is with someone from your past, or if you are currently dealing with someone right now, to be honest with you, I'm not saying that it's going to be with them. This is someone who is totally new. And I'm seeing that for a lot of you guys, group 1, you really want a serious commitment, but unfortunately, you've dealt with partners or love interests who weren't serious to have a serious commitment with you. They didn't want a serious commitment. You know, a lot of you guys had to deal with people who just didn't want the same thing that you want in a commitment, in a relationship. With this New Moon promise card, I'm here to tell you that within 6 months, you will meet someone who will be on the same page as you, who will want the same things that you want in a relationship. You know, it's so beautiful because when I see this card, I'm kind of feeling a sense of relief. Like, for a lot of you guys, you've really been searching for the one. You've really been searching for a person who actually wants a serious commitment, who actually wants to settle down, who actually, you know, thinks about marriage in the future and having children. All right, so it's so beautiful here, because with this promise card, understand that this new person, like I said, this is not someone from your past. This is not someone who you've been dealing with. This is a completely new and different person. And when you do meet them, I know for some of you guys, you're probably not happy to hear that. Maybe you want this to be someone from your past or a person who you are currently dealing with, but understand that the person who is coming towards you, the person who you will be meeting, this new person, it's almost like when you meet them, you're gonna think, man, where have you been all my life? Like, they're just so different. They're different from the men or women who you've been dating in your past, and different in a good way, because everything is going to fall into place naturally. I'm seeing that for some of you in the past, you really had to force love with certain people from your past, certain lovers or partners. It's like you always had to go out of your way to make a relationship work. But with this new person who you will be meeting within 6 months from now, understand that they are going to want the same thing as you. They're going to be on the same page. So next you have Rainbow, a blessing. This reminded me of what I said, how this person is going to be so different from the partners in your past. It's like a breath of fresh air when you meet them, because you'll finally see that, wow, this is my person. Like, it'll be very different for you, because I'm really seeing that the people who you've dated in the past, You just had to do so much in order to get them to stay with you. In order, I'm seeing a lot of compromising. I'm seeing that some of you even had to settle with someone who is giving you less than what you deserve. But with this rainbow card here, this new person who you are going to meet within 6 months from now, like the card says, blessing, they're going to be a blessing to your life. Next, you have volcano, volatility. So I really want to go in depth with this card because it's very beautiful. When I see the volcano card, I see that it's almost like something that you, the viewer, it's like something that you have been suppressing for a really long time. And it's like once you meet this person, everything that you've been suppressing just comes out. It's like blossoming, flourishing. That's how I view this volcano card for your spread. Someone who's flourishing. It's like everything that you've ever wanted in a commitment, you can finally have it, because for, like I keep on saying, for a majority of you in your past relationships, you had to settle. You were taking things that were less than what you really deserved. A lot of you guys were dealing with partners who weren't serious about you, who didn't want marriage or never talked about marriage with you, or they just never wanted to commit to you. And so everything that you wanted in a relationship, you couldn't get it with them. But with this volcano card is saying that with this new person that you will be meeting within 6 months, you will get it with them. Okay, so all your big plans and your dreams, everything that you've ever envisioned being in a serious relationship will be like, it will happen. And you don't have to feel like you have to hold back. With this new person, don't feel like you have to suppress your desires. You can talk about marriage, children, making big plans. You can talk about those desires with this new lover of yours. You don't have to feel the need to suppress it because you don't want to scare them or you don't want them to run away. You know what I'm saying? This person will be on the same page as you. So, group 1, thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys have a great day. Hi, group 2, welcome to your reading. So, let's see, what will your love life be like within 6 months from now, all right? So, I've already shuffled and displayed the cards for you just for time's sake. And the cards that came out when I asked the question, what will group 2 love life be like in 6 months? The cards that came out were Milky Way, which says perspective, Clouds, which says shape shifting. Lastly, you have Cave, which says sanctuary. So starting with this Milky Way perspective card, now group 2, I'm really going to ask you guys to really understand what I'm about to tell you. Don't just listen, but understand, because I'm really seeing that group 2, if you do understand and fully grasp this message that is specially for you, you will achieve a lot of success in your love life. But first, you have to listen to this message and really take it seriously. This Milky Way card that says perspective, what I'm hearing intuitively for you, group 2, is that the majority of you who chose group 2, let's just say that you haven't had a lot of luck in your love life. A lot of you guys, you don't really find yourself in a long-term commitment. Perhaps you've had to go through a lot of breakups. It's almost like you think that you will never find the one, because a relationship can never really last long with you. And I'm not saying that it is your fault. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that it is tiring having to pretty much start over the dating process, because I'm really seeing that it's like you guys have a lot of experience with men or women in your love life, simply because a relationship, unfortunately, doesn't really last long with you. And I'm seeing group 2 that this is so draining. This is so tiring for you. A lot of you guys feel like you need to be in a relationship and you don't. Whenever you feel like you need to be in a relationship, that will make you go out in the world and find love. And I always say that the best kind of love is love that you don't have to look for, but love that will naturally come to you. Because if you and someone are meant to meet, it will happen naturally. And a lot of times when we are very anxious to find love, we end up attracting the wrong people, which explains why for the majority of you, you've had a lot of bad luck when it comes to dating. Relationships just simply don't work out for you. And it's making you very tired of love. For some of you guys, I even hear you saying that you're done, like you're done with men or you're done with women, because things never really go your way in your love life. This Milky Way perspective card is telling you that you are missing something. You are refusing to really see something, okay? The perspective card is telling you that perhaps there is a reason as to why your relationships in the past didn't work. There's a reason. For some of you, you don't really think about these things. It's almost like when a relationship doesn't work in your love life, you get angry at the person, you try to move on, and then you try to date the next person without really reflecting on what you could have done differently in your past relationships. You see, when we don't self-reflect, we end up not seeing our own toxic traits, our own unhealthy behavior and habits. This perspective Milky Way card is saying maybe, just maybe, you need to work on yourself first, by yourself. It's so interesting that I even randomly thought of doing this reading, because just last night I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and she's had a lot of misfortune, a lot of bad luck when it comes to dating men. And I told her, I said, maybe you just need to work on yourself first, because she found herself going back to unhealthy lovers in her past instead of moving on from them. And I said, perhaps you need to heal, and heal first before moving on to the next. Because if you don't heal first, you end up repeating toxic habits, behaviors, and patterns. Sometimes you don't always need to be in a relationship. And I know that's very hard for some of you guys, especially if you are a codependent person, especially if you're used to being with someone, you're used to having company. But don't settle for a relationship just because of comfort when you know very well that you are being mistreated and you are not getting what you truly deserve. So I told my friend, I said, it's so important to heal first. Because like I was saying, if you don't heal first, you end up repeating the same mistakes from your past relationship. You end up, repeating those patterns, those bad habits of yours, which can ultimately self-sabotage your future connections with new people. This perspective card is telling you that you need to change how you view your love life. Because for a lot of you, you are on a search, you're on a hunt for love. You're searching, and I always say this, let love find you, because I'm telling you, when you're too anxious to be with someone, when you're too anxious to find a relationship, you end up attracting the wrong person. Especially if you notice a pattern in your love life where you notice that your relationships never really last, and you see that this is a consistent pattern. You know, you date one person, it doesn't work. You date the next, it doesn't work. Sometimes it's not them, sometimes it's you, especially if you notice a consistent, pattern in your love life. Maybe there's something that you're missing. This perspective card is telling you for you to take a step back. Okay, I know this is a love reading, but it's really telling me to tell you to take a break from searching for love. I know this is going to sound so crazy for you because group 2, you guys are lovers. You like being loved. You like loving people. So this is going to be so odd, especially for some of you who are so used to, being with someone. Take a break. This perspective card is telling me that your perspective on happiness is not very healthy, because for some of you, you feel like you need to be with someone in order for you to be happy. And for a lot of you, I want to tell you that, that is not you shouldn't make someone responsible for your happiness, because what happens when they leave? I always say that you should be happy with yourself, and then when you meet someone, they should add happiness to your life. They shouldn't be the only source of happiness. That's very dangerous and it's very toxic. The Milky Way card is simply telling me that you need to take a step back from the dating life. Okay, remember, it's a perspective card. So a lot of you guys are going to be thinking, oh my gosh, she's crazy. I can't. Is a perspective card. It's saying you need to change your perspective. The way you've been thinking in the past, you haven't, and even if you disagree with what I'm saying, really see this for yourself. If you don't change your perspective, how can you expect different outcomes? A lot of you guys, you've kept this perspective where you feel like you need a relationship, you need to find someone, and what have you gained from having that perspective? It's just a question for those of you who disagree with me. You haven't gained anything. So at least try to change your perspective and see if you will have a different outcome. All right. Next, you have shape shifting. I don't know how much more confirmation do you really need. You have perspective, which is telling you change the way you view certain things in your love life. The way you've been going about your love life isn't giving you any success, so change. The clouds shape shifting is also confirmation. It's also telling you for you to change, for you to conform, think differently. Your approach, have different approach in your love life. This shape shifting, whenever I look at it, I get the word transformation. Remember how at the very beginning of your reading, I said, if you understand, don't just listen, understand what I'm telling you and grasp it. Once you go through this transformation, that's when you will meet your true person. That's when you will meet a healthy partner. If you don't transform, you will keep on going through this repetitive cycle of dating someone and then breaking up, dating a new person, breaking up. You have to go through this first because there's something that you're not seeing. You're not transforming yet. So it's almost as if, the universe knows that you're not prepared yet. So you're not going to get what you want if you're not prepared. Shape shifting is telling you that there has to be some changes. What changes do you need? It's, I can't answer that for you because this is a general reading, but you know what you need to work on. You know your strengths and weaknesses. Nobody is perfect, especially when it comes to their love life. We all have unhealthy traits and habits. So like I said, self-reflect, reevaluate your past connections. What can you do differently? This shape shifting is also telling me that a lot of you guys are going to have to step out of your comfort zone by being single. And I already went over that with you with this perspective, because when I was talking about this card, I was already intuitively seeing that a lot of you guys were not really agreeing with me. You know, you were very surprised that I'm telling you to be single because y'all are, you know, very used to having a partner. And so, like I said, when you're so used to having someone around and transitioning to a single life is going to be uncomfortable, but just because something's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's not good for you. Okay? Of course, being single for some of you is going to be very different because you haven't experienced that in a long time. I'm just saying that for group 2, you guys have been in long relationships, long on and off relationships, or a long cycle of dating different people, you know, trying to make it work with different people. If one relationship doesn't work, you step into the next. So once you do stop dating, this shape shifting is saying the single process is going to feel uncomfortable, but it's transforming you. It's changing your perspective, shape shifting, you know? Next, you have Cave, which says sanctuary. I love this card because sanctuary to me, you know, by definition, sanctuary is like a safe place, okay? When I see Cave Sanctuary, I see a very independent person. I also see a very spiritual person, a person who is no longer codependent on someone else, a person who is just all right with being by themselves. Now, I'm not saying being by yourself in like a loner, you know, in a toxic way, because it is quite toxic to isolate yourself permanently from people. But this sanctuary is like this independence that you're going to get after this transformation, so much to the point where the thought of being single, you know, doesn't scare you anymore, because I feel like people fear being alone so much to the point where they settle for less. They settle for someone who they know mistreats them, but they're comfortable, you know, with the presence of another person. But this sanctuary is telling me that you're going to be so independent and so content with being single, to the point where you are not going to allow any person to come into your life to disrupt your peace. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer going to settle anymore. If you do get with a partner who isn't giving you what you deserve, you are okay with ending it. It's so, this sanctuary card is so beautiful. I'm telling you guys this. Once you go through this transformation, it's like you're going to be a whole new person. I'm seeing that the sanctuary card for a lot of my female viewers, a lot of my women, it's like you're going to be so independent and so content with who you are, to the point where you will not allow a man or anyone bluff you, you know, threaten that they're going to leave you, and then you have to beg them to. No, you don't care. You're going to be like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, with this sanctuary card, you're going to have so much self-worth. If something doesn't work out, you're moving on to the next with pride, not with anxiousness to see who's the next person you can be with, but you're moving on because you know that it's not what you deserve. It's less than what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? It's I can go on and on about this sanctuary card. I mean, I'm literally smiling because this energy is such an amazing, ideal energy to have as a person, feeling so content with who you are as an individual, to the point where you don't need to depend on anybody else for your happiness and satisfaction. So, group 2, I know that for some of you, you were looking forward to hear that in 6 months you're going to find someone, you're going to get married, you're going to settle down, all of that. But you guys know that I am not the type of reader who sugarcoats. I will not say something that I don't see. I am not in control of the messages that come to me, all right? This is just what I'm channeling for you. So before you judge too harshly, before you get disappointed, really think about what this message is telling you, okay? So group 2, thank you guys so much, and y'all have a great day. Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. So let's see what's going to happen in your love life 6 months from now. So I've already shuffled and displayed the cards for you guys just for time's sake. And as I was shuffling, I did ask the question, what will group 3 love life be like within 6 months from now? And so the cards that came out were Dance, which says celebration, DNA, which says karma, Stone People, which says vigilance. So, starting with Dance Celebration, I was so happy to see this card for you, Group 3, because I've had this deck for a short period of time. This is a new deck of mine, but I have used it quite frequently, and I've never gotten this card in a reading before. So when I saw this card, I was extremely happy for you. This Dance Celebration card, as I look at it, I kept on getting the word goal, accomplishment. Goal and accomplishment. Those were the two words that I was getting. So, for a lot of you guys, Group 3, there is a goal of yours that you have been working very hard to accomplish. You've been working very hard towards this goal. Now, the goal varies because this is a general reading. For some of you guys, you've been working on a goal of, reaching to a committed relationship. For some of you, I'm even seeing that you've really been working on yourself. You've been trying to break some bad habits and patterns of yours. Perhaps I'm even seeing that for a few of you, you've been trying very hard to move on from someone. Maybe you were in an unhealthy relationship in the past, and so your goal is to move on from them, to forget about them. For some of you, your goal is to get married. Your goal is to be in a serious commitment. Your goal is to meet someone new. Whatever the goal is, with this Dance Celebration card, I'm here to tell you that you will accomplish those goals. And your accomplishment, when you will be celebrating your accomplishment, what this card is telling me is that all of your accomplishment is going to be due to your hard work. Okay, so this accomplishment will not be given to you. It won't be handed to you. This is everything that you've worked hard for. All right, so with this Dance Celebration, it just brings me so much joy because I'm really seeing pure, genuine happiness in your love life. Whatever it is that you've been trying so hard to gain, by 6 months from now, you will accomplish it, all right? Next, you have DNA karma. So typically when people hear the word karma, they think that it's something bad. Well, I'm here to tell you that karma simply means that there are consequences to our actions. It's sort of like that saying, what goes around comes back around. It also reminds me of the law of attraction. If you are good to people, if you are a good person, you do the right thing, then goodness will come to you. If you're a bad person, then bad things will happen to you. You know what I'm saying? But there is such a thing as good karma. With this DNA karma card right here, as I was looking at it, I kind of got like a brief storyline for the majority of you, Group 3. I'm seeing that in the past, when it came to your love life, you felt like you had been cheated. Not necessarily that someone cheated on you, but you just felt like you were not really getting what you deserve, even though you were working so hard, even though you were being the best partner, you were giving people the world, you were just giving and giving and giving, nurturing people, being a good person to others, but you felt like you were not getting what you deserved in return. For some of you, I'm even seeing that you felt like someone got away with mistreating you and you were unable to really revenge. It's almost like with this storyline, all right? Some of you are going to think that I'm crazy. Some of you are going to understand what I'm saying, but I'm getting a very specific storyline, and I know that at least one person will be able to resonate with this story. Perhaps you were dealing in the past with a partner, a love interest, whoever this was. You were dealing with a love interest from your past who got away with doing something really, really dirty to you, really, really bad. Whether for a few of you, I'm seeing that they were being unfaithful. They stepped out of the relationship and they put you in a third party situation and they got with someone new, and you felt as if they got away with it. Like you felt like they broke up with you, broke your heart, and now they are just living their best life with this new person. I know that's really specific, but for a few of you, you guys will be able to understand what I'm saying. This DNA karma card is wanting me to tell you that it is a good thing that you didn't revenge on this person. I know at that time in the past you felt like they were getting away with mistreating you and you couldn't really get them back, or you couldn't really do anything about it, so you felt defeated. This DNA karma is telling me to tell you that it's a good thing that you didn't revenge, because eventually karma got to them naturally without you having to put in any effort to hurt them back. And because you stayed a good person, this group 3, you guys are one of my favorite people, okay? Because this DNA karma card is really telling me that even when you were put in a situation where you felt you may have been tempted to lower yourself in order to hurt someone, right? You were probably put in a situation where you were tempted to get out of character and hurt someone for hurting you. You did not fall for that temptation. You were still the person that you are. You were still a good person, even in a situation that for most of us, we would have been provoked to lower ourselves to the person who hurt us, to their level, and hurt them back. I really hope I'm making sense. Even in situations like that, you didn't revenge. You were still a good person. You still treated them with some form of human decency. You didn't allow that situation. You didn't get to their level. Whoever hurt you, you didn't get to their level. Okay? And because of that, good karma is coming to you. And I'm also saying that that's the reason as to why you will be celebrating 6 months from now, is because of this good karma that you gained by not lowering yourself to the person who hurt you, to their level. You know what I'm saying? It's because even in situations where most of us would be provoked, would be aggravated to get out of character, to want to hurt the person who'd hurt us, who treated us unfairly, who mistreated us. For you guys, group 3, you still had your dignity and integrity, and you did not get out of character. That is so beautiful. I love your character, group 3. And because of that, because you stayed a good person in a situation that was bad, because of that, you now have good karma. So don't think that the person from your past, whoever it was who treated you unfairly, mistreated you, at that moment in the past, you felt like there was nothing that you could do and that they hurt you and now they're getting away with it. I'm here to tell you that karma got them. Okay? And this is so beautiful because there's a big lesson that all of us can learn, even me. You guys are teaching me, the reader, you're teaching me a lesson that some things we shouldn't feel the need to take control of. If someone treats you bad, sometimes you just need to say, you know what, I'll leave it up to God. Karma will get them. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where, I'm going to get out of character, karma will get them, and you will be rewarded by getting good karma for staying good, even in those, bad situations. But because of your actions in the past, that is why you will be rewarded by this celebration. You will accomplish your goal. And for the majority of you, I'm seeing that it is because of the mistreatment that you've endured in your past, in your love life, that within 6 months from now, you will have something to celebrate. It will finally be your time to shine, your time to have true love. Next, you have vigilance, stone people. So vigilance is to be alert, is to be attentive. Now, with this vigilance card, what I was getting intuitively is that the majority of you guys, because of your negative experience with a past lover, because of what you had to go through in the past, once you move on from that and you finally get some good news in your life, something to celebrate for, things are going to be going so great. I'm just seeing blessings, 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 abundance, success, okay, because you have good karma on your side. This is going to make you very vigilant. You're going to be so cautious, so attentive, because you've already learned your lessons from your bad past experience. It's almost like when you've been with a past lover who was really toxic towards you. Even though the experience was bad, you still learned something from it. It helped mature, or it gave you more wisdom. It helped you become a better person, even though it was a negative experience. And so now you are more cautious and you don't want to repeat those negative experience. If you were in a toxic, unhealthy relationship in the past, you are going to be so vigilant and careful not to attract toxic lovers, not to put yourself in another unhealthy relationship. So it's so beautiful because group 3, you're the kind of person where you are very attentive and you learn. For some of you, you probably even believe in that saying that goes, everything happens for a reason. I'm saying that group 3, you are a believer of that. You do believe that sometimes you have to go through heartbreak and pain in order for you to learn that lesson and help prepare you for that next phase in your life, or for that next true love that's coming towards you. Now, with this vigilance card, you are just going to make sure that you have not only experienced your past, but you have learned from your past so that you wouldn't repeat those same mistakes. That is so beautiful, because I will tell you that for some of us, including myself, sometimes we have to go through the same heartbreak, the same toxicity over and over and over before we can finally get the message, before we can finally learn the lesson. But group 3, you're the kind of person where if something doesn't serve you, you take note of it and you make sure that you don't repeat that same experience. Very, very beautiful, group 3. Thank you guys so much for watching, and y'all have a great day.